Hello, everybody. So I thought I would just kind of randomly go live as I'm sitting here and waiting for my TENS unit to do what it does best. I've actually never tried one of these before. I tried it like when I was in physical therapy a really long time ago, but I just received it in the mail, and so I thought I would give it a shot. Hi, Madeline. Hi, Mylene. It's great to see you here. And Paulina and Lily and Egypt Girl and Band Geek and Katie and Marilyn. Oh, hey, it's great to see you here too. And oh gosh, everybody, I'm really glad that you guys joined me. So I'm sorry that the quality. I hope that you guys can. I know that you can like see me. Hope that you can hear me. I mean, let me know if you can't. But the like video quality is not fabulous. Sorry about that, but I just turned it on my computer. So Lily, I'm really glad that you could make it here too. So Jen, to answer your question, what does this machine do? So I'm wondering how many of you guys have actually tried out a TENS unit before. So essentially what a TENS unit is, I'm like connected up to wires and things at the moment. I feel pretty proud of myself that I was able to actually assemble it myself out of the box here. Not remotely sponsored. I just got this off of Amazon. What a TENS unit does is it essentially like sends electrical signals. The best I can explain it, like, I mean, I would ask a doctor to explain it or someone who actually knows what they're talking about, but it basically like sends electrical signals and electrical pulses between electrodes, and it's supposed to really help with pain. I've also heard that it really helps with phantom pain specifically. But I tried out my leg for a while last night because I couldn't sleep. And by a while, I mean like 15 minutes. And just, it feels terrible today. So I thought this morning would be a great time, or this afternoon would be a great time to try it out. So Alan says it shocks the shit out of me. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. That's very true. Like I said, I hadn't tried one in like years and years because they weren't helpful before. But that was also when I was dealing with my ankle problems, and my ankle was really, really messed up. And so I thought I better not like throw the baby out with the bathwater and then give it a shot. So I'm supposed to let it sit for like 40 minutes, like let it cook, I feel like, before I actually take them off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the intensity up because you can feel it like tingling. Oh, I switched the mode. I'm not good at electrical things. There we go. All right. We're back. So Rachel asks, will it help with a robotic prosthetic leg down the line? No. It doesn't tie into that at all. I could see where someone would think that though, like wanting to keep like the electrical impulses live or something like that. But there's no, to my knowledge, there's no development going on for any kind of robotic leg that attaches to below knee amputees that actually like communicates with the nerves. There's definitely like robotic ankles that like move with you, because like my ankle doesn't move at all on the leg that I have. Paul asks, have I named my leg yet? So the answer should be yes, because it's been enough time. But the top runners are Sunshine and Hiccup. I love How to Train Your Dragon, and I love Hiccup, who's the name of the main character if you don't know that movie. But then someone else suggested the name of Sunshine, like I'm walking on sunshine, as a name for my leg too. So, oh my gosh, Dalton, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's very unexpected and very sweet. Dalton says that he or she, I'm not sure, has a TENS unit. Oh, you had a huge knee surgery and bad nerve and muscle issues. Does it help you? I wonder. I really hope that it does. Any book recommendations for non-affiliated spiritual? Okay, so like are you looking for like spiritual development that's not affiliated with any kind of religion? Is that kind of what you're thinking? Let me know. I will look for your comments in the comment section. Anastasia votes for the pun when it comes to my leg. Okay, so Dalton says yes. That's what they're talking about. Book recommendations. Oh gosh, that aren't like, because I grew up Christian, as you guys know, so I know book recommendations, or I know books out the wazoo that are specifically Christian. Let me think on that. Remind me if I don't come back to it. I'm actually going to write it down somewhere because I do not have a great memory. Write down my phone because I want to come back to that recommendation. I read a lot and I listen to a lot of books. I'm actually going to go through my Audible list right now and find out, because I have trouble thinking of things on the spot sometimes. Marina asked if I'm going to name the foot separately from the leg. No, that is a good question. I guess I kind of consider the whole thing my leg. Okay, so these are some of the books that I've been listening to lately. American Pain, Do-Over, Chasing the Scream, Girl Stop Apologizing. So anything, this might be a little unorthodox, but anything by Brene Brown has been intensely helpful to me spiritually, even though that's not necessarily where it's intended. But she talks a lot about like self-development and shame and self-worth and all kinds of things like that. And that has really helped me spiritually, actually. So I would definitely recommend any books by her. What else would I recommend book-wise? What are you guys reading lately? I'm curious. I read a lot of books. I read all of John Green's books too, like Looking for Alaska. I don't know if anyone likes that book. I love that book. More books by Brene Brown in my list. Also, Everything Happens for a Reason and Other Lies I've Loved is a fantastic book for anyone who's ever dealt with anything medical or traumatic or anything like that. Excuse me. I'm like recovering from a cold still. Mylene likes dystopian novels. That's awesome. Oh, and Ariane, I'm really glad that you like John Green too. I think it's aimed more at like young adult sort of genres. But I really like him. I think he writes fantastically, and I especially liked Looking for Alaska, and I feel like I did something wrong because I don't feel it like buzzing anymore. No? No? Nothing? All right. Ha! There we go. Oh! I just figured it out. I never claimed to be smart, guys. So there's 4 channels here, like up here, and I keep pushing the buttons over here, and it keeps like turning off, which is very confusing to me. That's because this controls those channels, and this controls these channels. That would make a lot of sense. So if I want to turn the intensity up on this side, all right, I'm thinking now, guys. Mylin. Okay, Mylin is pronounced Mylin. That makes sense. Gemma Cody, hey, it's great to see you. You're not too young for any of these books, because I think you told me you're like 14 or 15. John Green writes books that are totally aimed at like that age group and beyond. And same for, I mean, Brene Brown's books could, I think, apply to anybody, but maybe better for like if you're over 18. I'm not sure. I would, I'll look into it, but definitely John Green's books are great for any age. Julie, missed the names I'm considering. Oh, okay. So the names I'm considering for my leg are Sunshine, like I'm walking on sunshine, and Hiccup, like Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon. I think Walking on Sunshine is pretty funny, but then it's like, how often do I want that song to get stuck in my head, you know? Excuse me. Carrie, no worries about joining late. I'm glad you're here. I just randomly decided to do this as I'm cooking. I've got about 15 minutes left here. Scary Place says that they named their stump Dr. Nubstein. That's pretty amazing. I like that a lot. Abigail thinks the song will be stuck in my head forever. That's what I'm worried about. That was what one of my friends brought up on Facebook. She was like, I like the name Sunshine, but the question is, how often do you want to be singing that song in your head? And I was like, I don't know if I want that stuck in my head every day for like ever. Let's see here. Mariana. Oh gosh, Walking on Sunshine. Whoa, yeah, exactly. All the time. Excuse me. Oh, she keeps quoting the lyrics. So there's someone, Abigail keeps quoting the lyrics of that song to me in the chat, and now it's like really stuck in my head. So I do appreciate that. So Mandy asked what the TENS unit feels like. So it feels like electricity, but not like, I don't know if I've walked into like an electric fence before, and you know, like that's really painful. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like almost like tingling or like tiny little pinches. I haven't turned it up all the way to find out if it actually ever gets painful, but I don't think it ever is like terrible. I know that if you put it in certain places, you can almost see like your muscles, not spasm, but sort of like clench and unclench, because it really does. It like actually interacts with your body. It really does something. But where I have it right now, like I like just have it on like both sides of my leg, because like I said, I couldn't sleep last night. And so I was using my leg for about 15 or 20 minutes, and I just I killed it. It hurts a lot. So I'm going to go back to my doctor. And, oh, Dalton, thank you again. I have watched you since the beginning of Trauma Talk. Oh my gosh, no way. And Footless Show. So inspiring with your mental, physical, spiritual journey to make your own way, not focused on perfection. You are one of 2 creators that I super chat. Thank you so much. That seriously means so much to me. I'm curious who the other creator that you really like is. I would love to know. I'm always looking for more people to watch and like learn from and gain inspiration from. But really, that is so kind of you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. That's really cool that you watched it since the beginning of Trauma Talk. So if you guys don't know, I've always had a second channel. This is technically, Footless Joe is technically my second channel, because Trauma Talk is the first one that I had. I started it in October of 2017. I talk about life in the aftermath of trauma. I know, very fun subjects, but I try to keep it like conversational, you know, because a lot of people have been through really crappy stuff, and I think it's important that we talk about it. So that's actually the channel that I've had for the longest time. And so that's really cool, Dalton, that you've been there since the beginning. That makes me really happy. Excuse me again. I'm so sorry that I'm coughing into like the microphone. Lori Mitchell asks, oh, Dalton. Sorry, I'll get to you in a second, Lori. Mr. Atheist is the other creator that Dalton super chats. I feel like I've seen you in that chat, because I watch Mr. Atheist all the time. I love his content. Absolutely love it. He is fantastic. I think I've said this in another live stream perhaps, but that might be confusing for some people who are like, but you're not an atheist. But I love listening to content and like people who don't agree with what I agree with, because it like expands your mind, right? And you don't have to agree with what people are saying. And he brings up a lot of really good points against super like, I wasn't part of a cult ever, but where I came from, things were really rigid spiritually, and it left a lot of scars. And so hearing someone kind of break apart some of the dogma that I grew up with is really helpful. So anyways, that was an unnecessary rant about Mr. Atheist. Lori Mitchell asked if I had my dogs yet. So no, I don't have my dogs yet. We are actually going to pick them up this evening, because I got super sick this weekend and was not feeling well. I was laying on the couch for most of it, and then Brian was gone all of Saturday. He ended up having to have something. So unfortunately, they're not here, but they will be here tonight, and I cannot wait. Filming is going to get a lot more difficult with puppies. Because with my other channel, with Trauma Talk, when I would try to go to film videos, I'd have to take off all their collars, because you hear it like clinking in the background. But puppies still are puppies. Like, they still walk around. And so and all of our floors are wood. And so you'll hear their paws in the background constantly. So audio quality, if I ever have any, is like out the window when the puppies come home. Maybe I'll find a way around it. Oh, Maggie Dawkins. Awesome. That's right. Sunshine, thank you so much for your super chat. That's amazing. Sunshine was her suggestion. That is, I love it. I think it's a fantastic one, honestly. Yeah, a lot of people really like it too. So you had a fantastic idea, and I really appreciate it. Jeff says, Jeff, hi, by the way. It's great to see you here. Excuse me. This is going to sound random. Jeff, I got your birthday present. It is sitting on my desk literally right now, unopened. I will message you later today about that. Catholicism is a cult, says a proud ex-member. So Jeff used to be Catholic and thinks that it is a cult. You know, I'm not sure about Catholicism being a cult, but I think cults in general do fascinate me. I watch a lot of documentaries about cults. Ouch. This just got really painful. That's odd. It's like sending random, we're good now, like random shooting pains. Moving on now. That's a little strange. So I know that they use these, they always used to like use these in physical therapists' offices and doctors' offices, but I was kind of surprised that you can buy them online. Like, I got this off Amazon for like $30 and it had a lot of good reviews. Like, it's not a super janky one. How old are my dogs and what breed are they? So I have 3 dogs. Which makes me so sad that you guys have not seen more of them, because I love them to pieces. They are like the love of my life, next to Brian, obviously. But I have 3 dogs, Sadie, Monkey, and Sophie. Sadie is the oldest. She's 8. She just turned 8, and she's a German Shepherd mutt. I don't know what she is. She's got floppy ears and a really goofy personality. So she's not a purebred shepherd, that's for sure. I got her off of Craigslist, not a safe way to find a dog, but at least I was able to give her a safe home. Same with Monkey. I found her off of Craigslist as well. Actually, weird story about how I got Monkey. I was looking for dogs on Craigslist. Again, it was a different time in my life. Looking for dogs on Craigslist is probably not a very safe thing to do. But and this picture and this like ad listing for a dog came up, and it had a picture of this like cute little mutt. And what the person was asking for was too expensive because I was super, super, super broke college kid living alone. And this is so I don't cough on you more. And I thought like, oh, she talks about her personality. I would totally love that. But man, I'm sorry. But I can't afford that. That's a bummer. And later that day, I brought Sadie to a dog park because Sadie's the first dog that I had of this group. And at that dog park, when we were walking up to the fence, this mutt runs up to us, like at the dog park. And I was like, holy crap, that's the dog from the listing today. And the reason that I knew is because she's a very unique looking dog. She's about like 35, 40 pounds. She's brindle colored, but she's got floppy ears, but she has like a really slim face. She's a very unique looking dog. And I was like, that looks like the dog that's looking for a new home. And so I followed the dog, weird thing to do, I know. And I found the owner. And I was like, this is going to sound super weird. And I'm sorry, but are you looking to find a new home for that dog? And she was like, oh my God, yes, I am actually. And we got in a conversation, and she couldn't afford her anymore, and she wasn't home ever. And so I ended up getting Monkey. And she like waived the fee because she liked me as a person. So that's how I got Monkey. And she's 7. And then Sophie, we got 2 years ago. And Sophie's the only one I got as a puppy. I got her when she was about 7 weeks old. She's super sweet. They're an amazing little pack of creatures. They're funny. E. Emerson says that their grandma has 2 German Shepherds. German Shepherds are my favorite kind of dogs. Like, I love all dogs. I don't discriminate, but I will always have a German Shepherd of some variety. And I think I said this, but Sophie's a little German Shepherd. She's a total sweetheart. Jeff says Monkey is the boss of the other dogs. So I know Jeff in real life. Yeah, Monkey is the boss of the other dogs, which is funny because she's like little. They're both like over 65 pounds. And she's like a little 35-pound mutt, and she will put them in their place. Here's the thing, though. Monkey lived on the street for the first 6 months of her life because I got her when she was 1.5 years. But she was a stray for the first 6 months, and so she learned how to live on the street. So she knows how to. She's very scrappy. She's a very scrappy dog. You don't want to mess with her. She'll just like lurk in a corner until things get real, and then she'll take everybody out. We make fun of her. We call her Murder Monkey because she's never vicious, but she could be. Anyways, moving on from the puppies. Ellie has 4 Siberian Huskies. Oh my gosh, you've got literally a pack. That's amazing. Trixie says, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying not to cough, but it's not working, obviously. Trixie says, they tell pregnant women to buy TENS machines. Oh, interesting. She's wondering if TENS machines can make phantom pain start. I actually wondered about that too, because it's sending all kinds of signals to your leg. It's like where all the nerves end. And the problem with phantom pain is that the signals are all screwed up, that it's like firing at different times in different places and in random weird ways. And so I was a little apprehensive. A friend of mine told me to get a TENS unit for phantom pain. And I was like, okay. That sounds a little scary, but okay. And I haven't been able to get one until just now. But I haven't heard of any other amputees telling me that the TENS unit started phantom pain. But I totally get where you would logically think that would happen. By the way, does it look like I'm in a dark cave to anybody else? Because like I can see myself on the screen okay, but also my video quality is probably better than other people's. Excuse me. Line Cook has a golden retriever and a Springer Spaniel. That's awesome. Okay, so everyone's saying it is really dark. Let me see what I can do to fix this situation for you guys. It's snowing here today. Is this better? Oh, I think that's better. I'm gonna guess that's better. Mylin says it's dark, but we can hear you loud and clear. Okay, that's good at least. Rob Wright uses TENS units on his her back, and it really worked for distracting from the pain. That's awesome. Bye, Gemma. She says she has to go. It got rid of Bree's phantom pain. That's amazing. See, it's really interesting. You wouldn't think that just like sending random electrical signals. I would honestly think that that would be like a terrible idea. Don't do that. That would be as bad as like sticking your finger in an electrical socket. But what do I know? I don't know anything, apparently, because medical doctors know best. And they'll even sell them to you on Amazon, or you can assemble them yourself. I was real afraid I was going to shock myself and kill myself here. So I've got about 5 or 10 minutes left on my TENS unit before I've got to hop back to work. But if you guys have any questions, I would love to do, answer your questions here at the end here. It looks like a lot of people are saying that TENS units distract them from the pain. That's really interesting. So it's more of a distraction for some people, it sounds like, than it is actually fixing it. Dan says, TENS unit, turn it up the highest setting and let the fun start. I'm not that brave just yet. So just bear with me. We're at that's the 3rd setting of 10. And it's definitely buzzing. I can definitely feel it tingling. Like I feel it in my eyes. They're kind of watering a little bit. It doesn't hurt. Again, it doesn't hurt. It's just funny. It's weird. I guess I'm not as cool as some people who turn it up all the way. You can have it on different settings too. So it's like pulsing. So it'll stop and I'll be like, oh, okay. And then it starts again. And it kind of zaps you a little bit. Okay, so Dalton says, for my knee surgery, half of my leg was operated on. Wow, that sucks. I'm really sorry. And is numb. I totally get that. When I had all my ankle surgeries, like half of my ankle was numb. But it was also numb to the point where like if you touched it, it was really, really painful. Like it was numb to touch, but like any pressure would send all kinds of weird signals and weird feelings. A peripheral nerve stimulator is like an SCS in my leg and I don't feel it, Abigail says. Is that like implanted? Excuse me. Hey Molly, I do see you, but I'm gonna go ahead and block comments for just a second on that. So I've heard of like nerve stimulators implanted in spines and stuff like that, which is interesting. Some people say they really work. I've heard horror stories with other people. I'm actually curious if anyone listening has ever had one, because I've considered it for my neck, but it's also another surgery. It's like another procedure, and having something inside of me kind of freaks me out a little bit as far as like an electrical device implanted. Sophie, I did watch Emily Artful. She's really cool. Also, it inspired me to want to actually start. I was about to reach for my art pad, but it's too far away, to start drawing again. I've missed it a lot. I haven't drawn really barely at all since surgery. I've done some sketching, but I'd like to get back into it. But Emily Artful is a really cool channel. If you guys like art at all, I would definitely recommend checking her out. Scott says, any advice for dealing with severe pain? I had chemotherapy when I was a kid and it affected my legs. Any tips? Man, I'm really sorry that you're dealing with that. That really, 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 really stinks. I don't have any magical recommendations aside from what people say all the time. Things that have helped me are, I have a heating pad that I have literally within reach at all times. See? Heating pads really help me with pain, but they help only to a certain extent. Like there's only so much that anything can do. So I also will take pain medication, but it doesn't really fix it either. I know a lot of people have said that meditation helps. I've not personally found it helpful. I'm not being super encouraging right now. I don't have any magical recommendations for pain, but I'm really sorry that it affected you and affected your legs. The biggest reason I should probably do a video at some point on like dealing with pain when I can think more clearly, because I want to have a good answer for you. I have found ways to deal with pain. Exercise is the other thing that has been a lifesaver to me and has been a little difficult to do in the last few months, but it's one of the only ways I've been able to keep sane. And like I couldn't do normal kinds of exercise like anyone else could do all the time, but I had to stay active. I had to stay moving to like deal, especially like the pain in my neck and my head, because like that blood flow, that increased blood flow would help with pain. It would also like help, I don't know, maybe inflammation. I'm not sure. All I can tell you is that it definitely felt a lot better. So pain kind of makes us want to stay static and stay in one place and not move and just curl up in a ball. But if, I don't know what your situation is, but if you're in a place where you can actually get up or sit up or, do some kind of movement, that's always helped me. Natalie asks if I play any musical instruments. Okay. So I am the most musically untalented person you've probably ever met in your life. My mom put me in piano when I was a kid, and I quit. I wanted to quit for a long time, and she wouldn't let me. And eventually, I got my way, and I quit after like a year and a half, so I can play some really, really basic stuff. And I always wanted to play violin, but that takes a lot of time and work and effort and dedication. And again, I'm just not musically talented or like gifted or inclined. And so that's just not what I do. Also, I love singing. I love dancing. I'm terrible at both of them. The musical genetics were left to my father. He writes and he sings and he plays the guitar and he's awesome at it. But I did not get that gift. Oh, a lot of people are saying CBD oil helps a lot of people. So I have tried, I live in Colorado. I'm going to put that as a preface. Weed is perfectly legal if you're over 21. I'm 28 now. I tried weed while it was legal. Excuse me, I have to cough again. Real sorry about that. And it makes me feel terrible. I hate it. I really, really hate it. CBD oil, I believe, is legal in all 50 US states. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. I think it's legal in a number of places because it doesn't actually get you high. It doesn't do anything like that. I have not actually tried CBD oil, which is going to sound real dumb because I know that I should have, but I'm actually waiting on working with a company right now to try it. So that's going to be on the way, and you'll see a video about that in the near future. Let's see here. Sophie's asking if I draw anything. I think if I'll post on Instagram, definitely I will. Lee FGT says you're amazing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. E. Emerson has been dealing with knee pain to the point of passing out. Oh man, and staying overnight at the hospital because of seizure-like activity. I hope that today's a decent day for it at least. And I'm really sorry that you're dealing with that. That sounds awful. Let's see here. R.A. Saint, Mylin says you don't have to apologize for coughing when you're stand. I appreciate that. R.A. Saint says is the result of bad karma. What do you mean? Is what the result of bad karma? I'm very interested to answer that question. Kelly Bell says so happy to see you live today. Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Lori, I asked if I want to have kids. So a lot of people have asked that actually. No, I don't. I don't want to have kids. I love kids. I love hanging out with like my friends' kids and like taking care of them. I used to be a nanny actually, but I have no desire to actually have kids. Thankfully, my husband also doesn't have a big desire to have kids. Otherwise, that would cause an issue in our relationship, I'm sure. We have definitely talked about adopting in the future because we both have a big heart for that, or fostering, one of the two, or both. But I have so many issues with my body anyways, and so many complications. I just think, A, I don't know how well it would go, but B, I also really, really worry about having a little kid with like the medical conditions that I have. I'm not talking about missing a leg. Like that would not hold me back. I'm talking about like migraines almost every day and being in pain all the time. Because when I was a nanny, I wasn't able to do it very long because I hurt so much. And because kids are kids, right? They like making noise. They like doing things. And that triggers migraines. So that worries me for like little kids. Anyways, what happened to the chat? Oh, all right. Okay, we're gonna hide the user on that channel. Sorry about that, guys. Man, I even forgot what I was talking about. Moving on to the next thing. It's just Ava asked, what country do you really want to visit? Thank you everybody for noting me of the spammer. I was wondering if like my chat was just going funny or something like that. I hid them from the channel, no worries. What country do I really want to visit? Many of them. I would like to go somewhere warm and tropical because I really like snorkeling. I've never gone scuba diving, but I really like snorkeling. I'd like to do that. So we'll see. But next we've talked about going to like England or France or somewhere like that. Maria says, greet me please, I'm a new sub. Well, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Jackie, I have 3 rats currently. I say currently because I always end up acquiring more. I always end up finding ones that need a new home. Costa Rica is suggested as a place. And Tunisia, very cool. I have not ever been to either one of those places. I would love to, though. Have you heard the new song, And Do You Remember Me? Alexa McCormick. Perhaps. Ariane, I would love to go to France. That's definitely like on our list. Have you heard the new song? Why does that ring a bell? I don't know that I have. I haven't heard the new song because I'm not sure what you're talking about. Would I ever go to New Zealand? 100% yes. And I would love to go on the Lord of the Rings tour because I'm a giant nerd. And I was obsessed with the movies when I was a kid. Not so much the books, the movies. I learned Elvish, darn it. I was that much of a nerd. So yeah, I would love to go to New Zealand and Australia. I found that when we went to Ireland, traveling internationally was not nearly as scary as like I made it out to be in my head. Because I'd gone to Canada before where you have to go through customs, but that is international travel. It's just not far from where I am. So yeah, I kind of, as Jeff would say, I hope you're listening, Jeff, I caught the traveling bug when we went to Ireland, and I can't wait to see more places. Jillian asked if I'm a podcast fan. Yes. Any recommendations? Yes. So right now, I've been listening to Terrible Thanks for Asking by Nora McInerney. I think I said that wrong. It is a fantastic podcast. It deals with heavy topics generally, but I don't usually talk about light topics, and I don't usually think about light topics. So I would definitely recommend Terrible Thanks for Asking. Also, if you look up Nora McInerney's TED Talk, she does a fantastic job. It just came out recently. Also, School of Greatness is really good. I like that one a lot. It's by Lewis Howes. He interviews a lot of interesting people. Sometimes I'm not interested in who he talks to, but they get a lot of different people on that show. Gary Vee, I love Gary Vee to pieces. He's a character. I'll listen to his podcast sometimes, but he says a lot of the same stuff. So after I listened to him for about a year, I was like, yep, I got you. Like, I understand what you're saying. He repeats a lot of the same thing. I'll sometimes listen to the Rachel Hollis Rise podcast. I liked her books more than her podcast, just personally. So those are some that I enjoy. All right. Well, I am now at 35 minutes with this, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these off and head back to work. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I super, super, super appreciate it. Oh, Trixie says her favorite podcast is Coffee Convos. Just a quick tidbit if anyone's looking for a good podcast. I have not personally read that one. Dalton asks if I can schedule a live stream on body image and self-esteem. I think that'd be a really good idea. I like that idea a lot. I will jot down that idea. And I'll also try to put together an actual video about dealing with pain once I've thought about it a little bit further and more methods that I've used. So thank you guys so much. After trauma and surgery, specifically a live stream on body image and self-esteem after trauma and surgery. Yes, absolutely. So anyways, I've got to hop off here, guys. But again, thank you so much to everyone who stayed and chatted with me. And now I must go do adult things. But seriously, it means so much to me that you guys would hang out here and chat with me. And thank you to everyone who super chatted and talked to me. So I will see you guys in the near future. I love you guys. I'm thinking about you, and I will see you soon.